Hello. Yeah, I saw the camera flip. It was really funny because the live is always crazy for me. Anybody there? Say hello. Anybody there? I'm gonna fix this camera. When people start coming on, then I'll flip it to the desk. Just making sure everybody's here. Maybe nobody's here because I really couldn't announce it earlier. Oh, hi. um, I was gonna do like a standard video for YouTube today, but my life is insane. My internet wasn't working, and everything got pushed back. And I figured, why not just go out with the bang in March? Hello, UK. So I'm gonna wait a couple more minutes until people recognize that I'm live. I don't know if you saw the beginning flip. That was pretty funny. Um, I have to figure these things out. And I'm going to try and figure out how to do a live for my Patreon. Haven't quite figured that one out yet. So when I get there, making sure anybody else is watching. Probably not. Probably everybody's like working, eating lunch. Don't really care. Just tell me where you're from if you're here. And then I'll flip the, if you have any questions, ask them now too, well I can see them clearly. It's a little different than Mars is here. Yeah, really? That's good. Mars. Jersey! Jersey's in the house. How's it going there? We have nice weather today here. I imagine you have the same thing there. Santa Fe. I'm dying to go there. Finland, wow. Is there any tips on composition of flowers? Yeah, I think I have a couple of tutorials on that. I talk about that Russia, wow, Arizona, that you either kind of like do a central kind of picture, you know, it's in the center, or you do something on the left, or on the right, or on the top, or on the bottom. It helps, you know, like if you want it like a funky composition, like kind of off to the side, that kind of thing. I'm holding this camera up. Hello, Canada. So yeah, I mean, today I already sketched out what I'm going to do because that's what I'm going to do. But that's how you do it. You kind of like, I don't know how to say it. Like either you want it like central, or left, or right, up, or down, and you just figure out which one you like better. So that's the tip I would give you. And I also give you for composition, it's always good to have like a big flower, if it's floral, and then little flowers. If it's a landscape, you know, either like the big tree and then some smaller things in the bottom, or the focal point is the house or the barn or even the animal and then the little things around it. So you got to figure out what it is that you want people to look at right first. Do you want to look at the house, the barn, the trees? Hey, Kansas. um, you know, that's the key thing. What is it that you want people to look at? A flower, a tree, an animal, and then you focus on that first, and then you focus on how do you want the surroundings to look, and do you want it to be kind of off to the side, the middle, left, right. So you play around with that. I always say sketch it out first. So I think we've got a good amount of people here. So I'm going to try and flip this camera. It's always fun when I do this. Are you guys ready? I'm pulling you up. Pulling you up. Ah! Okay, this is the fun part. Ready? Flip. Okay, I've got you on my little stand here. My messy desk. Okay. I'm going to try and just squeeze this down more so I can like read what you're saying. So what I sketched out is, oops, sorry guys. Live is live. A teapot with some flowers, and here's my original sketch, and I'm going to go over it so you can see what I did it. Let's take a big marker. Teapot. Talk about this a lot. And I have a teapot video, so scroll through my videos. If you don't see it when you first click on my page on YouTube, go over to the side. There's like those three little bars when you see videos, and it says filter. Click on that, and then it will say old to like oldest. When you click on oldest, then you can see all the videos. Right now, they do it where you can't see all the videos, so that's how you do it. And then you can find the teapot one. So I am going to sketch it for you first. See that? It's a curved line. Let's go straight across and curve it again. And then for the bottom little cup, not cup, saucer, curve it, go down. But I showed these guys in that tutorial. So you can do the same tutorial of that teacup that I showed you how to paint and the handle. And then for the flowers, I'm doing just a simple loose flower. These are kind of the flowers I always like to do. So what I want you guys to think about, tulips, see? Just some sprays here. Another little kind of like poppy kind of flower. And you want to have leaves hanging down, make it interesting. And you can put a tulip here, And then you got to think about, so here's my composition that we talked about 5 seconds ago. I'm going to try and see if I can read your stuff while I'm doing this. I'm sorry. Thank you, wishing. I'm sorry. Anyway, you get your composition of flowers. Then the next step, obviously, you got the sketch, the drawing, the flowers. What do we want to paint? Do you want to paint watercolor? Do you want to paint gouache, acrylic? Hello from Virginia. Do you want to do the ink and wash? Do you want to do pencil and wash? Do you want to do charcoal and wash? I'm going to do a tutorial if you guys want to see it on charcoal and wash. Let me know if you're really interested in that. It's similar to the same thing as drawing and the ink, but it's charcoal. And it can be a little tricky. Kitty, where can you replay the... Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what that said. So we got the drawing. I already put it in here. I use this kneaded eraser to erase the marks if I don't want it. It's my favorite eraser. You can get these like at Michael's, Amazon, blah, blah, blah. And the next thing you do when you're doing painting is color. Now you could practice color. You could take a little swatch. I'm trying to grab... Is it live? I thought I had everything I needed, right? I'm going to grab a piece of scrap somewhere. Yeah. This is a crappy floral that I didn't like, right? See, practice sometimes and it's gross. And I think I was going to do the teacup kind of like greens, maybe little pink flowers on it. But I think I'm going to keep this, instead of multicolored, like maybe purples and blues. So that's one thing you can do. Where is Minnesota? Hello. So I'm trying to read. I'm going to pull this down a little more so I can read what you're saying at the same time. And if you hear noises, it's because it's live and I have a home studio and people are coming and going all day long. So I got my water jar, my paintbrush here. I'll probably be using my Princeton 8 and long round 4. And don't pay attention. I got to turn that phone off. I'll take my phone off the hook. Guys, this is so funny. This is my day today. Okay, forget my day. I think I'm gonna start with the flowers first and then go in and paint the cup. You could do either or, but I think it's best to do the flowers first because then I can see where on the cup that I want my shadows. And I don't even know how I want the flowers to go yet. I might add some sprays down here. So I have a general idea and then I just go back in and add little few things. So I told you I was gonna do more purples, right? So I have peacock blue here. That's up here. And yeah, my phone's going to make noise, but I'll have to get over it. And I have my magenta, which is the quinachradone magenta, and it makes a nice pretty purple, nice deep purple. We can work around with that. Another trick too is if you want to see what the color looks like, if you don't have a lot of paper, like scraps, you can always kind of tap it on your paper towel and you can kind of see that. So I'm going to start with my Princeton 8 long round. I use this thing all the time, the Velvet series. And I'm just going to take the kind of anemone type flower, purple, poppy. I think it's a general flower in my opinion. I'm just going to fill that in. Oh my God, the phone. I'm telling you guys. I don't know how people do live that are so professional. Maybe they have a studio that I don't know about. So we're just going to fill this in. See, it's pretty watery. I can just kind of move that water color around. Actually, I meant to show you guys my first watercolor I found that I've done. I think it was in high school. It's hilarious. Maybe I'll show you at the end if I can do that. So we're just going to fill this in. La, la, la. At this point, you could do the wet on wet where you're adding in a deeper color and having it bleed out like this and taking the peacock here really concentrated and the magenta really concentrated, which means it's hardly any water. You could just tap it inside here and have it bleed if you want. Oh, you don't have to do that. You guys can see that. I don't know if you can zoom. Oh, you can zoom in live. Good. So you just tap it in, tip, 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 tap. And the less water on the paint, I talk about this all the time, the bleed will look much nicer and uniform and pretty. The more water, it's just going to go, wah, wah, and it can create those like edgy blooms that people don't like. Now, I don't necessarily think it's important to have the wet on wet on something like this. You know, it just doesn't make a difference to me. I can go back in and do some kind of other technique I'm going to show you on this one. So same kind of flower here. If you have any questions, okay, let's see. First live. I've done a few. I do them when I feel like trying to upload the normal way on YouTube is not going to happen for me because my life is chaotic, and obviously from my son, he went in a story, so I was flipping out on Instagram as you saw. But before that, was it before that or after that? I think my son was pulling up the driveway, and I just started screaming at my computer like a crazy maniac, and his friend was in the car with him. And he's like, sorry, I'm a lunatic. But I just so beyond frustrating when nothing works and you're frustrated. So here's the Verdier Blue. I love this paint color. This is the Holbein Verdier Blue W295. I hope I have a link to that in my description box from Amazon. If not, let me know. But you can get it on Dick Blick and Jerry's Autorama. It's just the prettiest color ever. Now, I know some professionals will say, do not take paints from the tube. But I take paints from the tube because I'm not that kind of person. I'm a rebel. And we're not making serious flowers. Can you talk about paint consistency? Okay, so you're talking about the water value, like how much water. So, you know, it's a balancing act. That's why you got to practice. And when you keep practicing, then you get better at like the paint consistency of like mixing the colors and the ratio of water. So when you have a lot of water, it's going to pool and it might be kind of crazy and hard to paint. But I tell people all the time, you put a lot of water in it to lighten the paint color. Because unlike acrylic, you add water to it. You can't do it with watercolor, right? So all you can do is add water. But it's a lot of water on your paintbrush. So you can tap it on the paper towel first to remove all that excess water and then go back in and paint your flowers. That's a little trick that I do. Because otherwise it's just a watery blob mess. Now when you're using less water, it's going to be more concentrated in the consistency. So that's the trick. So like this was lightly watered, and I watered down the color. I'm going to go in and add this little blue flower, even though it's not really a blue tulip. I'm just playing around with color. I don't really care. And see, so that's really light because there's more water ratio to the paint. I can go back in and take the paint right from the tube, add more, and it's, see, thicker, concentrated kind of color. So we got a couple of blues and purples. Let's take the magenta. Bucks County. Oh, my BFFs have a house in New Hope, and I miss them so much. I want to see them so bad. They restored this 2-bedroom cottage. It's absolutely gorgeous, and he's like a big novice gardener, so like they put like so much effort and time into this place. Okay, so we have the magenta here. I'm gonna add the peacock blue and keep it more like in a purple pink kind of tone magenta. So less peacock blue. See, I just tapped it in more magenta and you get this pretty color purple. We want to use different tones, right? So I have a little bit of water, and here I go. See, I'm constantly tapping on that paper towel. Take off the excess. But I do want it a little bit lighter, so I'm going to add some, and I don't have enough water, so I add some water to my brush. I just dip it in the jar. And I'm just kind of wiggling it. You see, I'm not really making this special way to paint flowers. You know, it's nice to paint realistic flowers, but it's also nice to play. This could be like a ranunculus flower, even though most of them are yellow. But I could make it purple because I'm going to do that. So we got this color tones all in the cool family. Obviously, the cool family is blues and greens and purples. And then the hot family is yellow, oranges, and reds. That's another way. Pasadena, California. Oh my God, I have been planning my trip to, we're going out to visit my son in September. He's graduating from his Marine school. But we're also going to go to wine country. And my husband, as you know, is a wine sales rep. So planning this trip has been kind of crazy. You would think, like, it's pandemic, nobody's booking anything. It is booked all these places that I want to go, like, for Airbnbs, because the hotels are outrageous. I mean, at that time of year in the fall. So I'm just like, what? I have been racking my brain trying to get something decent that I don't want to spend a fortune on, because I don't think it's necessary. You're not getting, like, the most insane accommodations. So I'm rambling. Okay, so the purple, we're going to go back to the purple. So I see, I also want to do paint when you're doing composition with color. You kind of want to balance the color. You want to bounce it off in a triangle kind of situation. So that pinkish purple, and then I have to do one kind of up here somewhere, maybe down here. You know, you don't necessarily always have to have it in a triangle, but it's really good because it makes your eye kind of move around the flowers. Boise, Idaho. I've never been to Idaho. I have to go across this country. So I'm going to have to do another, like a purple. I'll sneak one in here. And the bluish purple. Like, we want to make it, you could even put blue in there. So I'm going to grab that peacock blue again. And then magenta. I get that purple. And see, this is kind of dulled out because it's really light. We're going to go back in and fix that. But I'm going to go and put another purple, like a bluer purple. See? It's still purple, but it's a different tone. Like a tulip kind of flower here. It's just a simple kind of flower. See? We're still all in the colors there. Chicago. Jacksonville. My cousin's wife's from Jacksonville. You guys are lucky ones that your kids are in school full time. My son finally goes back on the 12th. I know everyone is giving Florida a bad rap, but I kind of think they did some things right. Because here we are, super lockdown in Massachusetts, and where has that gotten us? Nowhere. And kids are miserable, and they're failing school like crazy. I'm not going to rant about this anymore because everyone has their own views on all this stuff. So again, with the purple, just see, I'm just taking the brush. I'm just going like this, guys. This is just simple stuff. Play around with color and flowers. I haven't done the leaves yet. I'm just still doing the purple. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to make that even like a brighter pinkish purple. So I got that magenta and I got that purple. See, it's even darker. Play around with that. Just the simple colors. Again, I'm only using the magenta, the peacock. I'll use cadmium, and then I'll probably use some burnt umber. And I might go in and use the Prussian blue because you know I like that blue. So again, we're going to go in with this color. These are all in these purples. And I'm going to leave some white. I'm just going to wiggle. See, I'm just wiggling. Look at that. And if it bleeds into this one, hey, it's a party. I know I'm strange. Sorry, guys. Okay, and I'll do one of those like tulip flowers up here again. Now, this is all this. I'm basically trying to fill in the stuff that I drew. But I'm going to go back in and fix some of this. Hello from Maryland. You agree with Florida? Yeah. You know, I think the country, anybody who has a kid agrees. And then some people are paranoid about it. But the stats are there. My cousin's a microbiologist, works in pharma, works with the vaccines. And we have discussions about this all day long about what they should have done, and it's just the worst public health crisis ever. I think that they should have kept them in school, get the teachers vaccinated, and whatever. I don't want to go on about it anymore. I'm just so sick of it all. So I'm going to use the Verdier blue again, get it a little darker. I might add some Verdier blue and add a teeny bit of magenta to that Verdier blue. See, look at that. It's a periwinkle color. So that way you can go in on top of the one we just did here and just do some like wiggle lines a little bit darker. We can keep layering on these babies. We're just going to change them up. I keep like waking up thinking, oh, great day. No. Just don't turn on the news, guys, like I said yesterday. And you wouldn't even know there's a pandemic, right? Live in your own little bubble. It helps. It really does. I mean, obviously you can't do all the fun things you used to do, but at least if you have like a few hours a day where you're not thinking about it. So I'm going back on this color too, changing that a little bit. I'm probably going to change it again. I think at this point I'm going to add some greens. Right? So we're going to swoop this up. So we've got our trusty cadmium yellow tape. Look, cadmium yellow. You know I'm a crazy person, so I'm going to add my accents. And we get the peacock. It's Mr. Peacock in the laboratory. Not laboratory, in the laboratory with the candlestick. If you guys know what that is, you're awesome. Every kid should play Clue. Come on. It's classic. Camera is slightly, what is it? Not in focus? It's in focus? Something wrong? Clue, yes. Okay. Is the camera not, the lighting bad? I don't know. Something going wrong? Is something going wrong? I have not watched mainstream media TV, yeah. So, there's something wrong with the camera, someone was saying. I don't know, the lighting, and it's on full blast, so I don't know what the deal is. I'm just doing the best I can, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not the queen of, like, you know, cameras. I did a project recently I'll be talking about where they came and filmed me in my house and, like, serious camera equipment. And, man, now I know why it takes them forever to make a movie in Hollywood. Ugh. I'll be boasting about it before you know it. Clue. Oh yeah, my kids loved it when they were little. They were really good at it too. Okay, so I got this nice pretty green, and so I used the cadmium yellow deep peacock glue. I'm just and a little bit of the burnt umber to take that brightness out. Let's just start painting in some simple leaves. You know, just these simple leaves, the shapes that go like this. Just curving the shapes. You can just throw in some stems here. And I don't know what I have in my drawing, the original drawing, because I drew over my original drawing, but I think I had like a stem in here and then one that came out here like this. I'll just pretend that it's like a typical like tulip kind of flower. And then I'll just put some leaves out this way. I'm just kind of making up as I go along. Just kind of putting in some green. I think I have to paint faster because my phone might die. So I'm just going to whip in some greens, right? I'll get a little bit darker by adding some Prussian blue. I get caught up in talking to you guys and then not painting. So it's a little bit darker green with a little brown. And I'll put the stems in this way. And this way. And put some little things off the stems. Then I'll put some more sprays. Oh, I'm adding more yellow here, see? Gotta get some more water. Just pretty sprays out here. And then, of course, in here, we're going to add some greenery because it would be weird. It wouldn't be white in between the flowers. So I tend to start to add just light green in between. And then I can go back in and add some dark green where it would make sense. Right? Because you can't do light over dark, but you can do dark over light with watercolor. And I'm going to put some more leaves coming out this way. And this way. I'm just kind of filling that in. And then I'll grab some more of that yellow. Get some bright green again. And put a leaf out here. And then here we could put little teeny leaves. See, just little teeny. La 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 la. You could spend all day painting these kind of things. Right? Little sprays. When you say spray, don't you just want to whisper? Why is it so dark? Oh my goodness. You know, this lighting is on full blast. Let's see, watch. Okay. It seems so dark. I don't know why. Well, I hope you guys can see it. Maybe if I lift it up a little. Well, I'm not saying it's a fake pandemic because I know people that had it and people that were in the ICU, so it's not fake. They have survived, but it was pretty scary. And my family member works in a COVID unit, so yeah, This person has seen so much death in her lifetime that I don't even want to talk about it. And I don't even know how she stays sane. And it's been really hard on her, to watch her go through that. So it's not fake. Please don't say that. Especially to people like her who have to work and watch people die all day long. So I'm going to add some green, dark greens again into the dark. What do you call it? In between here, like I talked about. So I added some Prussian blue and the yellow. Prussian blue, yellow. So it's a darker green. And then you're just going to go in here and you're going to fill in some darker areas with that dark green that makes sense. That would be in between the light. And you can get even darker still with adding some like more Prussian blue. So I'll go back in Prussian blue. You can actually just add the blue right in there itself, right in here. Just kind of go in here. See, I'm just kind of adding this, just kind of tapping in some of that blue. And it just fills it in, right? See, it's more filled in now. Sorry, guys, I'm not really answering questions. I can't see them right now. I'm trying to just concentrate on this for a second. Okay. All right. I'm messing that up a little bit. And you're going to go back in with these greens that you had already painted and kind of put in some shadows and some veins. See, I just held the brush like that. Like that. You always want to get them darker as they're getting underneath the flower here, because the flower is going to, put shading. So I've added some more Prussian blue, a little of that brown, and I'll get a little bit darker here. And it's going to give it some life, some vitality. See, it's coming alive. Now I can stand up and see. Thank you. Now let's see what else we can do here. Okay, let's go back into the flowers again. These guys are flat. We don't want them flat, so I'm going to go back and add that pink. A little concentrated, see? Less water. Again, we can play around with how we want to do it. We can do like this wiggle kind of scenario again, kind of like a rose, right? I could make it into a rose just by putting some dark colors kind of on its side like that. Same thing with this one. I'm playing around with just adding some dark tones. And it's going to come alive. It can get even darker. Get some more magenta and some Prussian blue. Get even darker. Very dark. See that? While still keeping some of it pretty light. So you do a couple tones in here. Dark, medium, light. And it's just going to come alive like the Frankenstein flower. Okay, it's a big question. Okay, no fighting. There's no fighting in Ellen art class. Everyone has opinions. I respect everyone's opinion. You may not agree, but you can agree to disagree. So let's just play nice. Okay, so I think this country is divided enough. Let's all just get along. I mean, I have family and friends on all sides of the fence, and I respect them. I don't take sides. I just do me, really. What works for me and my family. Everyone is walking through life in a different path. Everyone's gone through different experiences, and everyone needs to understand that. I don't like to judge people. I think we have enough of that going on. We need to just come from a place of humanity. Okay, so I love, if you guys know who Gary Bernachek is, Gary V, he's the best. And he talks about this all the time. To have more empathy, more love for people. Because everyone's walking through life differently, man. You don't know anybody's stuff. I mean, people wouldn't know what's going on in my life. I had some stuff going on the past couple of years, pretty serious stuff. But I'm not going to talk about it. So let's just come from a place of love and flowers and happiness. Okay, so then I just filled in this a little darker again. And I think I really like this color. I'm going to play off these two colors here and add the third one over here. Like I said, the triangle, remember? So we're going to go back here with this Verdier blue that I mixed in with all these knits. What's great in your palette, guys, don't get stuck with just like, blah, blah, blah. Mix them all up. Go crazy, right? Change. This is all these colors in here. I don't even know what's in here anymore. I'm just kind of mixing around and it comes out to like this pretty color. And I'll add a little peacock and let's go play around in the field. And look at that. There's that bluish kind of color. And I could add a little magenta to it and get a little purpley. But I don't need to. So let's go here. I don't know how to do. I should never talk about anything else but art because I think discussion gets out of hand. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Okay, so do that again here. I don't have to do that color here, but I find like I kind of liked it. So I'm going to go over here. As I'm doing this live with you guys, I have not planned out the colors, by the way. I'm just doing them as we go here on this little journey together. How's it looking? Okay, no more questions. We're getting there, right? We're getting there. Okay. So then this guy, the original, the OG, the OG of the teacup. I'm going to go back in here again, get that more concentrated purple color. The OG. We forgot about him, didn't we? He needs some life back in here. So I got that dark color, taking off the excess. And I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see it. And I don't know why the lighting is so bad when this light is so bright. What am I doing wrong here? I don't know. Take the tip of it. See? Wah, 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 wah. Go from the center outward. Kind of curve it. Wah, 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 wah. I'm doing sound effects for you guys. And then I do a little dark one over here. Look at that. And then we'll go in and we'll add some really deep color to that. Oh, sorry. What was about the supplies? Holbein. Yes. Sorry. I'm a Holbein girl. See the Holbeins? Now, in the beginning, I did tutorials a long time ago, like a year ago. I was using really cheap supplies. And I just found, like, you know what? I mean, I love Holbein gouache. I've been using Holbein gouache for 20-something years. And I was reluctant to get the expensive stuff because if it was beginner tutorials, beginners aren't usually going to use it. But then come down to think of it, it's cost effective to buy the Holbein because this is the gouache. Here's the watercolor. The tube, I don't even know if I have the old tubes anymore. Well, the old ones are skinny and small. Oh, here they are. Like even like these crappy artist laughs. These are fat and thicker and just like, you're only buying 4 or 5 colors, right? You're not buying the whole entire gamut. You don't need all that. I always say, this is the colors I use all the time. Okay, maybe it's 5 or 6, but like you can just get 4. You can get the quinachradone magenta, the cadmium deep, the peacock blue if you just get 3. Maybe add in a brown, which is the burnt umber, right? So those 4 will make amazing colored paintings right there in itself. You want to add another one, add Prussian blue, another one, crimson, and then I like to add the brilliant orange because it's pretty damn good. It's so bright and beautiful. So those are what in my palette. I had all these colors in here. Guys, what a waste of time. Really, you just need like, you can do just everything with 3 colors, but like add 3, 4, and then you just add a couple of other varieties. Look at that. How many colors I use made all these pretty colors, right? So there we go. So then we're going to go back to that light little guy, right? We're going to take that purple. We're going to water this down. And we're going to go in, really water, and do the same kind of technique we did with the top one, but using a lighter color. Because he's the delicate one. See that? And just go like that. Pretty. It's a pretty. And then again here. Same technique I did on this one, but only lighter. And then this guy, going to give him some dark colors. You always do the light first and go back in. See, get the little dark wisps. Very wispy, whispery. And here. So at this point, I'm going to start working on the teacup. And we can go back in with the flowers if we want. And a bit, just putting in those darker tones, and the same thing with the pink. Well, hello, dark tones. See, I'm just doing these little wispy lines. Nothing special. Now, a super cheat. You can make gray with all the colors mixed together. But me, I'm the cheater. I don't even like gray sometimes. I'm going to take gouache black. And I have it over here. That's my cheat. I know. Call me crazy. But who cares? I can do what I want. No one's going to stop me. Water it down. It's just like watercolor. Or you can get Payne's Gray, but Payne's Gray is gonna dry lighter. The black is intense. So this is a little what I do. And I fill it in here. Always to the edge, but I'll leave a little halo. Halo. See that little halo? Look at that. Same thing here. So I'm cheating with the gouache. And then you could do those little, with the gouache, because it's also like, almost like acrylic paint or what, you know, you can just, the little dots, dot, 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 and do the little lines connecting to it. And you have like a nice, pretty anemone. Same thing here, dot, dot. More concentrated, less water, dot, 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 dot. Doesn't want to cooperate, just like my life today. Somebody must have said, hey, let's screw with Ellen today. Okay, see that? Da, da, da. Look at that baby, huh? I know I'm cheating with the gouache. I'm a cheater. And then, of course, in here, you can just take your cadmium yellow deep. You could add a little bit of brown to that. And you can put some yellow in here. How pretty, how pretty. Oh, so pretty. Voila. Oh, got this guy. I messed him up. So let's start painting the teacup. Now, the color of that. I wanted to keep that. And I didn't draw in, like, I might do flowers. So I think I might do a flower on the teacup. Just do some leaves here. Maybe a simple, like a rose I'll put in here. And a leaf here. I'm sketching that as we speak. And I'm just going to keep the rim kind of simple. So, we're going to do like, actually, if I do greens though, it's going to be bothering with the leaves. So I might have to keep it in like a turquoisey color. And that's what I'm going to do. Let's just concentrate on the flower first. So we can do a pinkish kind of flower, rose. I'm going to water this purpley pink flower down. The water. And then the rose. So you make these little lines. Leave a little white space. Look at that. Look at the rose. And make another little one here. Just like that. Everything got so quiet. And then I'll put some leaves in. Some more darker, deeper green. Greeny, olivey, kind of green color. Let's see what we got here. Oh, it's getting ugly. Okay, come on, green. There we go. Doesn't want to play. And we'll put some simple leaves. And put a little stem here. Some more leaves. You want to mix some more yellow. The teacup's going to have flowers. Simple like that. Maybe I put a nice light leaf. Yellowish green here. Kind of mix it up with the leaves. And then I'm going to go in and start painting the background of this and here. And I told you I was going to make it like a turquoise. So I'm going to remove all my purples. Peacock is just basically almost like a turquoise. So we're going to add the peacock. Real use of water. A little bit of this yellow. Ooh, look at that. Pretty. I'm going to have to mix up a good amount. And I'll test it in my paper towel, see if I like it. Do I likey? I likey. If I like it on there, well, it'll be another story. Maybe I have a little more yellow. More of a greenish turquoise. Let's see. Let's test that color out. I could even get a scrap and put it next to it. Let's see. Nah. No, it's going to be too green. All right? Let's try more blue. This is how I do it, guys. This is how we do it. So I've got the Verdier blue with the peacock blue. Let's see if this one comes out prettier. Maybe add a teeny bit of yellow. See, I'm getting a little cautious about this one. I don't know. We're going to do the blue. We're going to go for it. Low battery. Low battery. Okay, this is going to have to go fast. This always happens to me. Okay, so we're going to just wash in the blue. If I die, guys, I'm sorry. I really charged up my phone, but, you know, that's just life. So we're going to add the blue to the teacup. Going to try and work fast so you can just see. Just going to fill that blue in. You know I'm going to fill it all in. The rim is going to be like a golden color. Like you want to look like you could actually put gold metallic if you want to. Or you put like a yellow color that makes it look like it's gold if you don't have metallic. So we're going to play with that. I'm going to leave it white on the rim. Get the blue here. Now the inside of the saucer could be anything you want. I might put some of that green leaves in here. You know, to kind of continue that it was a floral pattern inside. And I can add a little of that purple pink kind of rose in here. Just going to add that color. So then at this point, I'm going to get the teacup a little darker here. Oops. That's looking a little too turquoisey, huh? I mean, too bright blue. I meant a little brown. Get it darker because it's, you know, the saucer. It's going to be darker underneath. You can add a little gray, couple of gray tones to that. I might grab some of my gray tones. Just going to kind of wash those in. And on the side here, just grabbing some of that black and gray, adding it to the blue. Down in the bottom here. Trying to work fast because what was it? You wanted to experiment with your camera, set it on manual focus. Is it not focused, guys? Because it's supposed to be. Ugh. I'm really sorry. Why isn't it doing it? Well, I have failed the day. I'm just doing my best. Okay, so I'm adding some more blue while it's still wet. And adding some of that darker blue here. See, because it's going to be a shadow from the flowers. You add darkers on this side. Kind of see that the light is coming this way, right? So for that rim, and then you're going to add some like grays. And so on the handle, a little gray in here. And then some blue again out here. Trying to get that same color. I feel like I'm rushing because I feel like my battery's going to die. And I'm sorry, guys. But, you know, get the blue in here. I'm going to add some, like a little too green. I'll add some blue in here. Oh, I'm just such a mess. That got so bright and turquoisey. We don't like that. We don't likey. So I'm going to add some brown. There, better. Kind of continue that in here and then over in here. Get that Verdier blue back in here. Come on, Verdier blue. We're rooting for you. I mixed the Verdier blue in with that other color blue I had. Okay. So getting these dark shadows that I'm creating here. Okay, it's not, you guys seeing focus? Okay, good. Is it focusing or not focusing? Is it really bad? Okay, whatever it is at this point, guys. Oh, I'm such a... I can't even say the word. So I'm mixing Verdier blue and peacock blue and a little brown. I'm going fast. Trying to make the colors darker here because of shadow. And the shadow of the leaves. shadow over here, under here in the leaf, and then shadow under here, just like that. And then I'll take some water and I'll kind of mush it around and bleed it a little bit. Okay, and go back to that little rose and I'll add some darker colors here. Or not. And then in here, there's that white space. It looks ridiculous because it wouldn't be white there. So I'm going to go back in and add some dark green or green. I'm trying to do this fast. Sorry. Another trick too, if green seems dull, you just take some yellow paint and just go right on top of that. Brighten it up. But you don't have to do that. See, I'll go back and fix that color. Just another trick. You can just paint another color on top of there. So I'm going to go back in here and fix these greens. And the green here. It's on the teacup. Just playing around with fixing all this. The details of it we'll get to another time because we're going to lose battery power here. So for the rim, you want it to look to gold. You want to make it look gold. Grab some of that yellow, add a little of that burnt umber. So it's like a golden yellow color. And see? And then you can kind of go in here. Oh, that's a little too bright. Let me add a little more brown. There we go. So it has that golden color, like the rim. Then we have a gold rim. And then you can put some of that over here on the handle too. Gold. Now we're going to just put a shadow. I'm going to grab some of my grays. Whatever grays you have. If they're blue grays, brown grays, whatever. I'm mixing some blue over here with my messy palette here. It's gray, really loose. Because I feel pressure because it's going to die. But I put a little dark here. I'm going to put a shadow here. Not too much. I'm going to water it down. I'm going to grab my water on my brush, take it off, and then kind of push this paint around a little bit. This one got a little too much out here. I don't want it out here. I want the shadow to kind of be right, kind of under the cup. Just a little bit like that. It spread out a little too much. You can go back in. Oh, goodness. I want to take out some of that. Make it lighter. And then I'll get a little blue, gray. Go back in here. That blackish blue-gray color. Just right underneath that teacup saucer. Does it look like it's floating? I have to stand up to see what I'm doing here. All right, not so bad. I might add a little more color, oops, out here. And a little darker. So it doesn't look like it's floating, right? Not sure as a beginner I'm really ready, but I save it. Okay, well, go back in and test it out. So we've got pretty much everything we need. If you want to go and add some deeper purples, pinky purple. See this one? I want to get a little bit darker. You're tweaking it at this point. You're adding in some darker valued watercolors. Again, right? Don't want to do that so much with this one because basically that's part of the cup. You want to kind of keep it all, what's the word? Not flat, but it's not supposed to have all this vibrancy like these because those are actually supposed to be real and this is just a painted cup. So I'm trying to recreate my... Good thing to do is make a lot of the paint that's going to go on the cup. So I will have to go back in and try and do that myself because I lost some of that paint. Especially around here. I want to fill this in. So you could always just go back in the whole cup. Kind of paint all those areas you missed. And if it doesn't, don't worry about it. So the saucer, the inner part of it, I'm going to go in and add some blue. In here. Probably some gray because it's going to have a shadow from the cup. So it's not going to look as pretty as this one. And then again, like I said, you go in and you tweak all the bits and parts. So I'm probably going to have to get off this thing so I can actually upload this to YouTube. It will be available on YouTube after we finish this. I'm going to go in and add some dark veins, some dark leaves, some details. See? Veins. I'm doing this kind of fast, guys, because I'm losing time. I'm losing power. We're running out of steam. Just add those veins using some darker tones. But I hope I helped you guys figure out like some other ideas and compositions and how I work with color. And just play around with it. So I'm adding some darker greens in here. So there we go. Tea for two. A little tea for you guys today. My battery's going to die. And I'll go back in and tweak it again still. Adding a little bit more dark color. Woo, look at that. Just really enhances it, right? Boom! And then up in here, because it's right next to the leaves. I'd actually add some gray as opposed to blue. I'm going to add some gray. Just get in there and add some of those darker tones. And on the side, you can take like a wash of gray. You can see I have a like gray over here. Once this whole thing is dry, just take your gray, water it down, do like a little wash. See that? Gives it a shadow. But it has to be dry. If you do that when it's wet, it's going to bleed and it's going to look silly. See, I'm washing in the color. Silly Willy. Did you see how I washed that? See how tricky that was? And then you can do the same thing going over the flower. See? And there's your shadow. Voila! I feel like as I stand up, this part is still looking a little not dimensional enough. So I'm going to go again and add another darker purple tone to that. So it really pops. Oh, you're welcome. And so at this point, you just play around. I might go back in with my peacock and my yellow and do like, or even just brown. I think I might just take some brown and do like a little spray. I never use my number 4 brush, by the way. I just take and do some little sprays. See what that does? Just add some more fun. It just changes it, doesn't it? You can go and add any color you want, but that's pretty much the premise of it all. Then I might go back in again with my blues and get down and dirty with a little shadow. Again, just to liven it up. Especially here. Open up my brush, grab my Birdie blue. And that's that. All right, guys. I think we have created our cup today. Thank you guys for being amazing, amazing people coming on to my channel. If you're not a Patreon member, please join. It'd be great support. I appreciate it so much. If you don't want to do it, I totally understand. Tomorrow is April 1st, April Fool's Day. So that's the weekly exclusive tutorial video on Patreon. And yeah, and then also if you're a super Patreon, I do a free printable download that I created that you can use for your own personal use, obviously not commercial use, so you can print it on things you want to use. So that's that. And take care, guys. Thank you so much again, and have an awesome day, and take care. Okay, how do I figure out how to stop this thing? I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, that's my life. Okay. I'm still going to be talking, so I figure out what I'm doing here. Take care, guys.